After the nice little break that was Jeopardy on the NES, we're now going directly into Alien Syndrome here on the Master System. I don't know what this game is. I don't know what to expect. But it's very clearly ripping off the Alien films. Okay, so it is a top-down run-and-gun game. Our gun has very little range to it. Okay, don't grab the green faces. It looked like a pickup, but it's not a pickup. It's just something that exists to murder you. At least we know now. Save your fellow man. So far, immediate first impressions. Game's a little I don't know how to say this. It's a little squishy. Which may seem like something that doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, we can open up a score page, I guess. That's what button 1 does. Button 2 shoots. Seems pretty simple to me. The aliens, you know, they spawn, as you expect. The aliens take hostages. I don't know, you know, it's, grabbing that paper on the wall has done something. I don't know if we can, like, see... No, it doesn't appear to have any effect on that pause screen. You know, I don't exactly know what's going on in this game, you know. I've only just picked it up for the very first time here. It appears to be pretty rudimentary, honestly. Hey, that appears that we've enhanced our blaster into a laser of sorts, so I'll take that. Seems like an objective improvement. Nice little question mark. I always love opening the mystery box when given the opportunity between the sure thing and the mystery box. The mystery box is my #1 best friend. W. Did that just like transport us? So I really wouldn't have preferred that, honestly. Kind of liked where I was at. Okay, what is FB? Oh no. Oh, it's flamethrower, okay. I was like, oh no, we have invoked the right of Facebook. Now everything's awful. This is immediately, without really putting much time into it, already gonna fall under that cursed area of top-down games that would be better off with 2 joysticks, but you only have a D-pad and 2 buttons. It's becoming a frighteningly prominent genre on these 8-bit systems. And I could see it maybe finally improving and getting out of that kind of hell once we reach like Super Nintendo levels, and at least, you know, you've got 4 buttons on the other side. That can at least substitute a second joystick to a degree. There is 1 hostage left. I don't know where he is, but we'll find him. He's not here. Very minimal sound. Makes for a kind of bland presentation. Ah, there he is. Okay, so now we can probably leave. The aliens look like they've gotten a little more spirited. Just a little deadly. But I know approximately where the exit is, so that'll help me out a little. Or maybe I don't. What the heck? Yeah, it says go to the exit. Okay, I thought I knew. But instead I've just died. Round 1, the bomb is still set. Okay, and we did respawn right here. Yeah, let's just... Hey, there we go. That actually brought me directly to the exit. Swell. Oh, okay, we have to fight this beautiful man. This is not like Ikari Warriors 2. We can't just hold the button down and strafe shoot. We gotta keep repositioning ourselves properly to shoot him. Which makes for, admittedly, a kind of a weak experience. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Alright, start over from 0. That's fine. I think I'm concerned about starting over from the very beginning. It's no Jeopardy, I'll tell you that much. Like how, like, shooting the aliens is pretty much entirely optional. I assume you get points for shooting aliens. It'd be dumb if you didn't. I'm still getting, not quite DOS vibes from this music, but, like, Windows 95. It reminds me of, Hover. If you ever played Hover, it was a great, well, I say great. I thought it was great because, you know, it was free and built in to the computer and kind of cool. It was a kind of a capture the flag bumper car game where it wasn't really capture the flag. I guess it was more like collect the other flags, which you may be asking, well, what's the difference? It's like, no, the flags are just kind of layered across the level, and you had to collect all of the enemies before they collected yours, but you didn't have to bring them to your base or anything like in a traditional bout of capture the flag. So it was its own thing. But I always found it to be a remarkably entertaining time. You know, considering it was just a free pack-in that existed on Windows, and it was a 3D game, that's when you knew you were dealing with quality. Like, man, these guys are really just gonna give me a full 3D game? Sign me up. 3D meant that it was the real deal, you know. Now, granted, 3D gaming did exist for the vast majority of my developmental years. You know, I've said it before, born in 1992. Puts me most certainly in the much earlier segment of the quote-unquote 90s kids. Honestly, I think it's kind of dumb to like take pride in the decade you were born in. It's like you didn't have to do anything to be born at that time. And this might just be like the most grouchy, grinchy thing that I've ever said on the show. I'm like, you know, you're born when you're born. Doesn't make you better, doesn't make you worse. We gotta hit him right in his little, in his little red patch there. Come on. Ah. Great sound effect. Let's hope that he didn't just like reset all his hit points. Nice grotesque design on this dude, though, I gotta say. Especially when he does that, turns into a little demon. Well, dang, I wish I had some kind of gun upgrade at this moment. I gotta get dangerously close to him, and I'm not vibing with it, you know? Feels bad, man. Ooh, he has turned blue. And then he, you know, okay, so when he turns blue, he changes up his shots. And he starts shooting directly in front of him when he, oh no, he just aims right at you! Well, we have yet to make it past boss number 1. We'll go through this whole song and dance again, I suppose. 'Cause you have to. Shout out to that song that Taylor Swift did with the Dixie Chicks, who I guess are now just known as the Chicks. Sorry. Okay, well don't walk directly into the pit. Turns out that's a bad move. It's not just a wall, it's an actual pit you can just walk right into and die. Now we know, you know? So far, I would deem this game as being pretty inessential. I think this game may have come out on the NES as well. I should have mentioned this game was published by Sega, of course, and developed by Sanritsu, which from what I can tell is basically just like a child company of Sega. So if you see a game developed by Sanritsu, it doesn't really mean it's a third-party game. No, there are only like 2 games in the entire North American library that were not published by Sega. We'll get to them in due time. So this is sloppy of me right now. I want to make that known. That didn't warp me to a very useful place, but whatever. We're just kind of vibing, you know? We had our fun with Jeopardy, and now we're kind of going through the motions on Alien Syndrome, and that's okay. That's okay. Very ugly scrolling effects. Which may seem that now I'm just, you know, picking on the game, but, you know, sometimes you gotta nitpick. I do appreciate that the aliens kind of phase in so they can't spawn kill you. Spawn killing is consistently one of the most annoying things that can happen in a game. That was what made Karnov so bad. Karnov could have been a halfway decent game if it wasn't for all the spawn killing that it did. I feel like I shouldn't have picked up the one that said N there. We only need 1 hostage left. That'll be this boy right here, but I believe if I go down 1 square, I think there's a laser pickup. I was wrong. I want some kind of pickup going into the boss fight. Although I may have just screwed myself. I shouldn't have picked up that N. Yeah, I just screwed myself. We only have, like, 1 life anyway. Now, it's fine. He won't shoot directly for you while he's orange, while he looks like the Thing. It's a heck of a sprite, by the way, for an 8-bit system. There's a lot of detail in that bad boy. It's so exciting stuff so far. Yeah, let's grab this flamethrower and hold on to it here. Until we find the laser. And then don't pick up any other posters on the wall. Could ruin a good thing. Do feel free to blast as many aliens as you want. They are heartless and full of bile. Maybe that's just propaganda, but I feel confident in saying it. It's nice, kind of like moody, atmospheric music, but you know, between the lack of like any other sound effects, it's an oddly sparse game when it comes to audio. Kind of off-putting, which is maybe the point, you know. This game was trying to be Alien Isolation before Alien Isolation could be. That's not actually what it was trying to do, by the way. I'm just speaking total goofball language right now. Okay, don't pick up anything that'll downgrade your gun now. No N's, no S's. I believe 2 hostages left. It should be very easy. And then we fight the same boss that we can't seem to get past. And the exit's open, and we have our handy dandy laser. Hopefully it doesn't just downgrade you the second you go in here. It doesn't. Good. Okay, he's actually aiming for us now, even in his orange phase. You want to stay kind of at an awkward angle where because he can only really aim in 3 directions. Hey, we got him. That's all it took was, you know, making sure you kept the laser. The laser is God. The battle has just begun. Oh, I'm sure. Now we're going to Cleo instead of the Calliope. All right, that one kind of spawned on me, but I also probably wasn't paying attention. What, he's gonna start like shooting blasts at me or something? The second I find aliens that start like shooting projectiles, then I know I'm truly screwed. I like the kind of galaxy worms here. I don't dare pick up any posters. I don't want to lose the gift of this laser. It's too good of a weapon. This game has a lot of slowdown too, like more than I typically expect from the Master System. The Master System usually does a good job. Yeah, see, like once all the other sprites are gone, I start cruising. But if there's anything else on the screen while I'm on the screen, the game says, I give. No interest in the flamethrower, it's just not as good as the laser. A strict downgrade. I don't know what the S and the N do, but they've never done anything positive for me, so I need 4 more hostages, and then I need to find the exit. It's not a bad game, you know, it's just kind of slow, kind of plodding, kind of... Well, there's the exit, now I know. Galaxy worms, get out of here. You could have a reasonable amount of fun with this back in the day, but it's inessential, I guess I would say. Which really is just a very pretentious way of saying not worth it. Oh, it's an inessential release. You've heard me in my fancy way of talking saying that now. Yo, here we go. Last hostage that I need. Now, we gotta make it back to the exit in one piece. It's no guarantee. Unlike in Minnesota, where we have a snow guarantee. believe it was up this way. Yeah. You can't tell me no. And now it is a different boss. Good. Although he may be, you know, full of even more problems than the other one. We'll see. He does spawn little enemies to bug us everywhere else, which is always annoying. I'm gonna shoot him directly in his mouth. Which is to say, we gotta be accurate. I thank the slowdown for portions like this, you know. It allows me to actually dodge. Oh! Yay! Got him. Perfect. So once I learned, you know, just find a laser and stick with it forever. The game got not so bad. Irado. What the heck is that? We're on like a giant organic potato? Or something like that? It's really nice that the game keeps like giving me a laser right in the opening screen. I appreciate it. Oddly kind of you. Like, you don't gotta feel obligated to be so nice to me, man. I guess we'll take this bridge. Hope it doesn't doom us. So far, I don't appear to be doomed. Ooh, things moving very slowly right now. Just keep moving. Don't worry about everything else appearing in your life. If you ignore all else, the path to success will open up to you. I don't think that's how wisdom works. It's how my wisdom works. Now you too can purchase my self-help book. Available nowhere. We'll take this little one-tile path here. I'm feeling a little spicy, you know. As spicy as I can feel while playing Alien Syndrome. You know, it's still kind of a plotting game, you know. The green heads are the most annoying thing in the game, I think. Most of the other enemies, they all have more or less the same behavior. They just kind of walk around and they might walk directly into you, they might not. But there's really nothing to fear. Well, look at that, a hostage right on the train tracks. It's a classic Wild West kind of scenario here. Pick them up. We don't have a lot of time. Is the thing. Like, we can't mess around forever. So we do really have to make sure we get our hostages and then get the exit. These games like to put you under the gun a little bit. They were clearly developed by someone who was like, I work best under pressure. And then I'm here, I'm like, please don't pressure me. Oh, okay. I was like, oh, what happened? I realized, oh, I just pressed the wrong button and opened up the high score screen. Beautiful. Things are indeed looking mazy. Mazy like a mouse. That's my Lil Wayne line of the day. 3 hostages left, and then I still gotta find the exit. You know, things... With 162 seconds on the clock, I don't know. You'd think that that's enough, but this strikes me as a definite trap. It's gonna be like, you thought you had time? Fool! Okay, we need 2 more hostages now. Ah, shit. This is what I'm talking about when I say a trap. Everything is just going to be exceptionally mazy now. Everything has been mazy. It's not like that's going to be a considerable change or anything like that. Standard operating procedure at this point. No. Don't go that way. This is kind of what I'm trying to tell myself now. Go this way. Don't pick up the poster. The posters are all lies. Wow. Walked right into me. Messed myself up there. And we still get the same time as well. Shoot. You know, it's like there was something internal in my mind where I was like, well, I've died once. I guess that's the end. Okay. Hold on, though. I wish I had something better than this. I don't know what the question marks do. Wish they did something better. But I can at least make it to the exit and look at the boss. Probably won't be able to do much to him. Because I have the shortest range blaster in the world. Why are you always so poorly equipped in these games? It's like, hey, you have to do this mission to save everybody. But we're gonna make sure that you're not equipped. Like, see, I have to get above this dude just to hit him. Now he's sending these organic filaments against me that I just gotta run away from. Okay, no, I can shoot them. Yeesh. I gotta coax him down. Gotta coax him down. Because I need to get above him. That's his only weak spot when I have no range to speak of. I was gonna say, open up your guts to me. Let me see your insides. Okay, coax him back down, coax him back down. We're still in this, you know? Don't be so defeatist. Don't say, you lost 2 lives immediately and you lost your best power-up. It's the end. No. We're never gonna stop the alien syndrome if we act like that. We might just never stop the alien syndrome anyway. This pea shooter does such little damage, you know? That's my #1 concern right now, is we're not really effective right now. You wanna... Ah! Dang it! Ah! You do so little damage! And now it's back to the top of the game, isn't it? Yeah, you know, back to level 1. Ooh, we can play as Mary, though, which we are. Or maybe we can't. I don't know. Maybe that's like a 2-player mode? I'm not sure, man. Well, you know, we made some progress, and now it all just comes falling down. It's no jeopardy. Where's my alien trivia? In the year 1969, the United States captured this alien. What is E.T.? Don't know, man. I've brought myself down to the level of pure clownery now. If the game weren't so slow and piddling, maybe it would be a more enticing endeavor. But it's just, you know, it's a lethargic endeavor. Otherwise, it's a beautiful Saturday. It snowed last night, so that always sucks, but I'm not going anywhere. My wife has gone to IKEA because we need nightstands, and I do not look forward to putting those together, but, you know, you do what you gotta do. I'm not a big fan of IKEA, you know, I don't like being there, and I don't like putting together the furniture afterwards. I'm like, somebody out there has got to be, like, addicted to assembling furniture. It's like their version of model planes or something like that. You know there's somebody like that out there. That ain't me. I usually just get frustrated. But I don't really work with my hands much, you know. I have a cushy little office job taking phone calls, you know. Not to say I love taking phone calls. I really don't. But it suits me, you know. I'm good at it, is what I'm saying. I know, the arrogance that I would imply that I'm good at something. Someone get this man out of here. Alright, all aboard the Clio. Get out of here. Don't roll into me, galaxy worm. These aliens, they are reminding me of something, some kind of enemy from an old DOS game. I think, is it Cosmos Cosmic Adventure that they kind of look like they're from? It might be. Cosmos Cosmic Adventure, an old Apogee game. You know, just very, very standard DOS era Euro platformer. It's like, hey, here's like one mild movement like mechanic to give the game a mild sense of identity. You had suction cup hands, and here's just like a bunch of wild sprites and points to pick up everywhere. And that sums up most Euro platformers of that era. It's like, we're just gonna give you a kind of wild level, put little pickups for you to get points all over the place, and have fun. That's your game. I don't even know if Cosmos Cosmic Adventure was actually made in Europe, but the conventions used certainly make me believe so. You just eventually get to that point where you're like, that's a European platformer. Shout out to every kid who thought it was funny to make a punchline European. Shout out to every kid who thought it was funny because they're right. Okay, need one more hostage and then the exit. Seems easy. Until you realize you have to find it. Actually, I'm gonna go up the other direction. Could be the totally wrong direction. Maybe some of you with a particularly gifted sense of direction are screaming at your screen now saying, no, don't go that way. Well, I shouldn't have gone this way. My inner intuition said don't go that way, it'll be a waste of time, but whatever the opposite of intuition is, was all like, just try it. Just give it a go. What's the worst that could happen? What is the opposite of intuition? Out-tuition? College tuition? That's not very intuitive. We just talked about that on Jeopardy. Yeah, okay, fine. Let me out. I'll rescue you because you're on the way, but that other dude back there, he's screwed. He's got to find his own way out. Okay. This thing, it's beatable. We've beaten it before. I'm glad it shot to the left instead of directly in front of it, because I don't know if I would have been able to dodge it from that close. Is that possibly balancing that they did? Where they realized a player wouldn't be able to dodge it from that close, so they make it shoot off to the left? I don't know. Seems oddly benevolent if that's true. I'm so excited. I got more records coming in today. And then I still got like 5 more after that. Your comrades are waiting for you. Alright, back to potato. I appreciate the laser. I really, truly do. It's pretty necessary to make things happen. Save that, crewmate. I just kind of, you know, I didn't like specifically go this route remembering that they were here. I just happened to stumble upon them. It's not like I was trying to save you in particular or anything. It's going to be as tsundere as possible about this whole ordeal. I'm a little nervous now because, you know, I have died in this level before. I still have like 1 extra life, but, you know, losing the laser, it's a big, big, big deal. Just like any shmup. This is not technically a shmup, it's a run and gun. There is a big difference. But it's got that same conundrum there to where you just don't want to die ever, or you're going to be working from behind. Couldn't remember if there was a hostage specifically on the bridge or not. You know, some of these are just like dead-end bridges that just exist to house hostages, and that's it. Which is fine, you know, it makes for some mildly varied level design, gives you a nice little, ooh, you gotta take the maze this way to get to the hostage kind of thing. I'm not opposed to any of that. So far, projectiles haven't been a major issue, except for in boss battles. Yeah. I don't know. I'm on the fence about this game. It's not that bad, but it's really not that good either. The classic non-statement. I'm playing it real fast and loose with walking over the spawning enemies too. That's going to come to bite me at some point here. Just make it known that I'm aware of that. I know that I'm playing with fire thoroughly. I think time will be fine. We were fine on time last time. We probably could have even beaten the boss if I just didn't get, you know, hit by a stray piece of spaghetti. No, this direction is not where we need to be. This direction. Maybe down this way, actually. I don't know. I'm a little lost. Nothing wrong with being a little lost, you know. It's a video game. It's not going to be the end of the world. Unless our performance in this game that directly affects the fate of the world, then I guess it will be the end of the world, and all I can say is I tried. Made some progress on Halo Reach. Now, I already know how Halo Reach ends, because I've seen people talk about it in, like, lore discussions and stuff like that. So the impact of that's going to be kind of taken right out for me. But I can already tell, even besides the ending, the overall theme tends to be, well, you tried. Okay, I need one more hostage and then the exit. I'm not sure where the exit is, though. I've found it once before. And, you know, that last attempt, that went south, but, hey, there it is. With the last hostage right in here. So don't get hit by a mound of space spaghetti en route there. We have range, so this shouldn't be nearly as bad. I would have thought, and yet he's still being remarked. You know, don't talk to me or my son ever again. Well, I'm gonna go back to doing absolutely no damage here, and I'm gonna have to, you know, play dodge the bendy straws yet again. But it could be worse. Could be playing Akari Warriors 1. Did you see my bullet go right through the bendy straw? Because I did. Play that through on slow-mo if you need to. You know, that's a suspicious development. Well, I hate it. Back on the Calliope, I guess. That's all I can really do is sigh deeply. It's better than Afterburner, better than Rocky, better than a lot of stuff on the NES. But that doesn't mean it's an all-time classic, not at all. For somebody out there it is. So just remember, any game you think is terrible, there is somebody out there who thought it was great. There's almost certainly no exception to that, mostly just because some people's taste is weird. Might be like, oh, how about this game that nobody could possibly find good? Dude, nothing surprises me anymore. You can find a fan of just about anything. I mean, there are people who unironically enjoy Five Finger Death Punch. Anything's possible. Don't give me that Nickelback example, like, oh yeah, or Nickelback, people really like Nickelback. It's like, yo, they're a boring band who don't do anything unique, but they're not offensively boring. Like, I think the Nickelback Bad Circle Jerk is a little overstated. It's like saying that, you know, cornflakes are bad. They're bland. There's nothing exciting about them, but I don't know if I'd necessarily go so far as to say that they're this abysmal thing that's ruining music as we know it. Or in Cornflake's case, breakfast. No. I will always use Five Finger Death Punch as an example of a band being truly terrible before anything else. And for all I know, like, the small handful of viewers that I get, they'll just all be massive Five Finger Death Punch fans, and then I'll say, well, here we go. So you might say, oh, well, why are they bad? Give your reasons. Okay. Ivan Moody is the worst lyricist on the planet. They don't know if they want to be a Pantera ripoff or a sensitive ballad band. And against that point, you don't have to be a band that just does ballads, and quite frankly, those tend to be pretty bad usually too. Like, I was reminded of the band Stained the other day, and I was like, dang, feels like all of their biggest hits were butt rocky power ballads. And then I thought, they were pretty bad, huh? So no, maybe being a purely ballad band is a bad thing. It's not that bad to have some ballads here and there, but I guess, you know, Five Finger Death Punch's ballads, they come across as so insincere. And that's probably because of Ivan Moody's atrocious lyrics. Like, he's a bad... I don't even know if I can call him a bad vocalist, strictly speaking. Like, I know people who enjoy the qualities that his voice has, you know, the kind of gruff man's man, I beat my wife kind of voice, but it's funny because he actually was charged with like domestic assault, I believe. I don't know if he was charged, but he was at the very least taken to court for it. And honestly, I would believe it. Like, with his lyrics are the definition of like roided up. You might be like, hey, you're spending an awful lot of time talking about this band. How rent free do they live in your head? It's like, clearly a lot. I just like shitting on them. Hey, they make art. They're trying. Yeah, okay, just like a kid who spills ink on a piece of paper made art. I know. I'm being needlessly bitter. Might be like, oh yeah, name your favorite bands then. Be like, Easy, Mare Cognitum, Blood Incantation. Nine Inch Nails have always been an all-time favorite of mine. I know, for all the mildly obscure, and by mildly obscure I mean not obscure once you're into it at all, kind of extreme metal bands I like, Nine Inch Nails is always kind of an outlier. You know, there, no doubt about it, Nine Inch Nails is a very popular band. No, but guess what? I don't just like music because, oh, this band's not popular. No. I've been accused of that before. Some people be like, you only listen to stuff because people don't know what it is. I'm like, not at all. Not even remotely. And again, if you're even slightly into death metal, you know who Blood Incantation is. You know who Tomb Mold is. But your average radio rock listener who thinks the heaviest thing on the planet is Metallica's One. And I'm not... dang it. I'm not even trying to say that Metallica's One is a bad song. No. Quite the opposite. I think And Justice for All is Metallica's best album, and I get flack for that. Some people are like, but it's produced so poorly. And I'm like, I don't care. It could have all been produced through a cassette player, and I would still call it their best album because it has the best compositions. And Justice for All is the best Metallica album. Fight me. I think it's better than Master of Puppets. I think it's better than Ride the Lightning. And I think it's better than Kill 'Em All. Obviously, it's better than the Black Album. The Black Album was the beginning of the end. That's not to say that I think it's an atrocious album. I just think that it was very much the turning point where things started to get decidedly unthrashy. Yeah, it's got some good songs. Sad But True is a great song. Wherever I May Roam ain't bad. It's a decent rock album, but that's what it is. It's a rock album. To call Metallica's Black Album a metal album is a little bit disingenuous at that point. Maybe I'm gatekeeping. But I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I enjoy the Black Album reasonably well. Unfortunately, it led to Load and Reload, which I don't enjoy. You can, if you enjoy Metallica's Load and Reload. I'm not going to tell you not to, by all means. You know, if that's an album that speaks to you, then it speaks to you, you know. Let it be yours. I just really can't stand the direction that it took. I think Fuel is a bad song. I think King Nothing is a bad song. I think there's again, we get... Did you see what happened there? I cut that corner just a little too close, and I fell into the pit. And lost me laser. That was karma for just, like, dumping on all these bands right there. No, I think, even just outside of the reigns of Metallica, thrash metal as a whole, I do think that Slayer and Megadeth are both better than Metallica as well, if we're talking overall quality of career. I think Slayer were good for longer than Metallica were good. Same thing with Megadeth. That's not to say that they don't both have their missteps. All of the thrash metal bands have had missteps. Undoubtedly. But Megadeth have never put out an album as bad as Saint Anger. Despite what people say about Risk, I would still rather listen to Risk than Saint Anger. Same thing with Slayer. They've had a couple that weren't that great, but nothing as bad as Saint Anger. Anthrax, I admittedly don't know enough about Anthrax to bring them into the discussion. I think they're always kind of the bastardized stepbrother of the Big Four. There's some people who even argue that Anthrax should not be considered the fourth band in the Big Four. Some people say that that should go to Testament, perhaps Exodus. Heck, I've even seen some people argue Overkill, which is why people have created the second Big Four. It's like Testament, Exodus, Overkill, and then that fourth spot is always kind of up for grabs, although I've heard Flotsam and Jetsam have been cited as being a potential fourth seat somewhat frequently. That was, I believe, the band that Robert Trujillo was in before. Metallica's current bassist. Known by most bitter diehards as being not Cliff Burton. Look, Cliff Burton was a good bassist, but I genuinely don't think there's anything he could play that Robert Trujillo couldn't play. I think people... And this could be a hot take incoming here, but I think people get so caught up on Cliff Burton more than anything because of the bass solo on Kill 'Em All. Because of that one bass solo, his bass playing had so much upfront exposure. And I think that people kind of hold on to that for dear life. But otherwise, when you listen to the rest of Kill 'Em All, or even like Ride the Lightning, it's not a particularly bass-heavy album. It's got good bass playing on it, yeah, but it's not like if you compare it to, say, Death's Individual Thought Patterns album, there's some absolutely wild stuff going on bass, like pretty much the entire album. Some very, very inventive, creative stuff, and I'm like, I guess I just don't get why Cliff Burton. It could very well be, you know, the mystique of him having died. I know that sounds insensitive, but let's be real. That is a factor that does happen. Look at David Bowie's Black Star album. It's a great album on its own rights, but it was obviously brought to legendary status by the fact that he died 2 days after it came out. I'm not trying to, you know, be crass or anything. It's just, it's how it is, you know. It gave it this extra kick. This extra lore. I think that's a big part of why Cliff Burton is still put on the pedestal that he is. And again, I'm not at all saying Cliff Burton was a bad bassist or nobody should admire Cliff Burton's work. I think that's a big reason why he's on so many people's best bassist of all time lists. He was certainly no Les Claypool. And you can make the argument, oh, but Les Claypool's overrated too. It's like, you may be right. I certainly can't play what he plays. Mostly because I don't have a 6-string bass. And no, that's not a Davey 504 reference, or 405, I don't remember. I'm not calling a guitar a 6-string bass. God dang it! Ah, this boss. I mean, Les Claypool literally plays a 6-stringed bass. It's got a whammy bar on it and everything. Makes trying to learn Primus songs on a 4-string a bit of a problem. I'm upset. I'm upset by that boss. That boss is an upsetting boss. That was my highest score yet, but yeah. Yeah. I don't quite buy this game. It's, at the very least, unimpressive. Sometimes your shots just, like, don't register. I get, you know, why they wouldn't register when an enemy just spawned, obviously. But no, when I rag on Metallica, it's not because I dislike them. It just feels much easier to rag on bands that are like universally considered the greatest, because then you're like, now how can I prove you wrong, person who enjoys their music? Which is certainly just a straight up evil villain thing to do, you know. I don't know, it's like, when you reach that level of success, you don't really have anything to prove. Like, if you're ragging on a, like, talented band that's just trying to get somewhere, then it's like, well, come on. Give them a chance. But when a band is already, like, on the top of the mountain and you feel them kind of slipping, then you're like, you got no excuse, man. Or I guess you just feel less obligated to, blindly charge in to save the day for them. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, at the end of the day, you can simp for whoever you want to simp for, and I will not fault you for it. I might say, hey, here's why I personally disagree, but I'm not going to be like, you like Theory of a Dead Man? You're a bad human being. No, no, no. Now, granted, First Avenue here in Minneapolis did literally collapse during one of their concerts, presumably to try to escape the horrific experience that it was going through. The whole venue was like, I'm out of here. Goodbye. But then, of course, the other argument is, yeah, they literally brought the house down. No, I think it's more the venue wanted to escape. It's a certain fate. This boss design, this is such a bizarre creature. Like, why the red stripe? What is the lore behind the red stripe on the clay man here? Oh, he thought he had me. He legitimately thought he had me. There we go. Little did he know, we had him. Yeah, the battle has just begun. The chainsaw-shaped ship, you know, that's time. For all intents and purposes, that's all the time that we get. Yeah, not sold on Alien Syndrome. It's just too plotting for its own good, you know? Just kind of mopes around a little bit. It's don't get me wrong, it's much better than Afterburner because it was playable, but again, it's another game. It feels like you need a second joystick to properly get full advantage of it. These top-down run and gun games, you want to run and shoot at the same time, but here you got to stop, point, shoot, move again, stop, aim, shoot. It kills the flow. That's been a constant issue ever since like Ikari Warriors 1 and Commando on the NES. We had the same problem with Rambo as well on the Master System. But, at the end of the day, I always say it. I never mind trying a new game that I've ever tried before. It's not one that I will immediately rush out to go pick up. When I eventually do finally pull the trigger and get a real Master System. But no, for now it's there. Tomorrow we're looking at a game that I have never heard of called Aztec Adventure. So we'll see what Aztec Adventure is all about. Hopefully it'll be something a little more enticing than Alien Syndrome, but if not, whatever. So join me tomorrow for Aztec Adventure. We'll see how that turns out. We'll see you then.